Guten Tag, 911 collectors. We have a Kyosho here, but it's from the very first Porsche collection, meaning there's probably some weird stuff we're going to see here. It's just not the best models. I have the 959 from these guys. It just doesn't look so hot. But anyways, here's the list of the other ones if you want to look at the colorways and the choices there. Yeah, I have the 356, not the greatest. I have this 911 Turbo, not very good. I have this, not very good. So today we're looking at the 911 GT3, and this collection is from 2005, so keep that in mind. No price on this box, though, that I can see, but it's probably under $4 because that's what the Porsche Collection number 2 cost. Alright, so this color choices here. This is the 2003, so this is the 996.2, or the second generation of the 996 911s. Let's look at the riding stance on the stand. It looks a little gappy, right? But let's take it off the stand and hopefully it'll be a little better when it just rests on the tires. Nope, that didn't help. It's still pretty gappy. Alright, that's too bad. Let's take a look at these images. Yeah, this is not an attractive 911. Those headlights, they're not to my liking. So this car it was a sports car for sure. The GT3 was that nomenclature, or how would you call it, the trim level, was introduced with the 996 series. It was meant for homologation for the FIA GT3 Cup, so people could buy these and go racing in an FIA sanctioned event. So being a race car, they stripped out a lot of weight. Most of the sound deadening was gone. They removed the rear seats, they removed the rear loudspeakers, the sunroof, the air conditioning, although you could get the air conditioning and the CD radio as no optional upgrades, no cost upgrades, that is. The engine was naturally aspirated based on a unit used in the 962 and the 911 GT1 race cars. It was known as the Mezger engine, designed after Hans Mezger. It was a 3.6 liter, and then this year it would be 380 horsepower, which would get you 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. There was a lot of suspension tweaks, upgraded brakes, lighter wheels, and this front end was a little bit different. Over both generations of GT3s in the 996 series, there was around 1,900 produced, a little under that. Okay, so let's get to the model. So we definitely have a silver flake here. It's kind of a large flake, so that might bother a lot of you guys. There's also a big casting gouge right there. But for me, it's this riding stance. It's not so great in the front, but the back, I mean, this looks like it's going off-road. That's a giant air gap there. Unfortunately, being press fit together, it's going to take some effort to lower that. I either have to pry off the wheels off the axle ends, or I have to drill the thing apart, and then I can drill new holes for the axles to ride up higher. So that's why I like screwed together bases myself. Alright, well the tires do look good. They have nice treads and the rears are staggered wider than the fronts. The size of the tires looks appropriate. The blanked off exhaust tips, not the greatest effort, but again, this is an early Kyosho. They were learning still, or not trying at this point. The back here is a GT3 printed very nicely, and then the taillights are okay. There's red and clear. But this rear wing is definitely weird. First, this lower one is extremely thick. Well, maybe that's supposed to be. Looking at the rear photograph, that might not be so bad. But this thing is so tall, it doesn't look remotely like the side or the rear photos I picked up, or even the front photo. I feel like this is way too tall. So it should be riding lower, like right around there, the wing itself, I think. So, yeah, that's it's also, look how thick this strut is. This is like Hot Wheels thick. This is what you expect on a Hot Wheels, not on a Kyosho. Third brake light's got some red in there, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, that's weird, the front edge of that wing strut. I don't know if that's paint rash or a contaminant. The door handle is really nicely done. The wheels are nice. They got some lug nut hole details. No brakes though, but they're hollow. There's air passing between the spokes, and the tires have good curvature to them. There's black window molding here. Painted on, looks alright. The casted mirrors, well, they're okay, I guess. The front end, you got those ugly headlights, but they're clear lenses, and there's indication of, a light bucket, so that's pretty good actually. The badge itself is nicely sized. It is relatively detailed. The panel gaps though are quite huge though. I mean, this pick is going all the way in there. Here we have some black paint. Seems okay, and these are pretty, well, I don't know. I don't know if that's black paint or just the darkness. Well, anyways, it's alright. Wiper blades are casted in, painted black, looks good. So yeah, the interior is nicely detailed. You can see the stick shift there. It's just, just black, so, alright. We got some sculpting here on the side, and a little bit of faint sculpting there for this chin spoiler, I think, to come up. Yeah, I think the paint's really splotchy. It's not the best, it's not the finest silver. Kyosho's definitely done better later on. Alright, so it's the riding stance that's really killing me. Let's compare it to a couple other models. And while you're, look at the rear wing on those photographs. Look how low it is on those photographs. So I think they messed that up for sure. Alright, so this is from a different and probably a much more modern Porsche collection. It's a 911 GT3 RS, so an even sportier version. But this is from 2006 to 2011, so I guess it's the 997. Yeah, so it's got the normal looking headlights. And then look at the wing struts on this. Much thinner, and also has separate plastic mirrors, so much tighter details on the mirrors, the side mirrors there. So Kyosho definitely did a better job as they came out with newer collections. The next one is another Kyosho, a 911 GT2 RS from 2010. So, yeah, it's just a much better separate mirrors again. And then look at the riding stance of these flanking cars. They don't look like they're entering like a car jumping contest. So, alright. Yeah, those flanking Kyoshos are much better. And then also the exhaust tips. They're like silver, and they have depressions in the middle of the exhaust. So, yeah, this, as expected. Well, I'll just pull this off here. As expected from the early Kyosho Porsche collection, not so hot. It's definitely substandard compared to those last few I just pulled up there. But if you own this car in real life, or you really love the 996 series, I'm not sure if there's a better choice out there. If there is, please leave a comment. But I feel like because the 996 is the most unloved series of 911s, it's unlikely anyone's ever going to remake this model like in a better version of it, right? I have a suspicion if you're a model making company, you're going to avoid the 996 series. So yeah, this might be the only model that you'll ever be able to get this good of this car. Alright. Well, I appreciate you guys checking this out as usual, and I'll see you the next time I get another 911. Alright, bye.